Hey guys, it's Rob Zeoli here. So today we're going to be talking about new builds, new construction, and this is something we haven't really been talking about much in the last 18 to 24 months, but with things changing and with inventory rising and more choices for buyers, builders are starting to offer more and more incentives, which is great news for the buyers out there. So we're going to be diving into all of that today in this video. Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to my channel, which is all about real estate and living in South Florida. And if that is something you are interested in, it would mean a great deal to me if you would subscribe to the channel and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It's totally free. It only takes a couple of minutes. And of course, if you're thinking of moving here or if you're a local and need anything at all, reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you and would love to be your real estate resource here in South Florida. So let's dive right into today's video about new construction. So I wanted to make this video now specifically because new construction kind of changes depending on the market dynamics, and with things changing again here in the South Florida real estate market, especially with the interest rates and the increased inventory, builders are offering more and more incentives.
Help me help you. Help me help you. Help me help you.
And there are much more opportunities for people when it comes to new construction. So really, what has changed? Well, definitely the interest rates, but the inventory is the big key, because with more choices out there for buyers, builders really do have to compete with the added choices that are available to buyers looking in our local market for homes. So when inventory was at its lowest, going back, say, 18, 24 months, the competition for new construction was just as fierce and competitive as it was for just regular resale homes. Buyers were actually bidding on lots, builders' lots, just like they were bidding on homes. So the builders were definitely in the driver's seat at that time, but things have definitely changed and the builders have to adapt to the market conditions right now. Now, another thing in the buyer's favor are material costs. And in this case, we're talking about building materials. They're down about 70% from going back to about 2 years ago. So that's another thing in the buyer's favor. Plus, supply chain issues were another thing. So builders had to charge a premium because they were actually paying a lot more for building materials plus the lots themselves in order to develop them. But things are changing quite a bit on all those fronts. So definitely a great time for buyers when it comes to new construction, because builders right now have to offer certain incentives to get buyers to come and choose their builds over existing homes that are starting to flood the market more and more every single month. Now, incentives given to the buyer is something we have not seen builders do much at all in the last several years, but they're doing it a lot right now. So as standard practice, builders have in-house lenders, in-house title companies that they use, and they're able to offer certain incentives and discounts to buyers because of the volume that they do with these in-house lenders and title companies. So really, if you decide to use the builder's lender as opposed to your own private lender and their title company, they will throw in some sort of an incentive in order to do that. And again, really the only reason that they're doing it right now is because they have to compete with the additional inventory coming on the market, something that they did not really have to do in the last couple of years. Now, something to be very careful about in this process is that real estate agents like myself were kind of cut out of the loop when it came to new construction in the last several years because they did not need us. Buyers were going directly to the builders. And again, it was a lot of competition, and they were just bidding on lots and just basically overpaying for them because they had no choice. So if you're going to be going the route of new construction and you're going to be offering some certain incentives, you need to get with somebody, either a real estate agent or someone that understands the process, or, have a couple of eyeballs look over what's going on, because
French fries and Oreos. You know me all too well, geez.
What are you in for?
I'm doing one-nighter for biting Ed the mailman. Guy was trying to cast a spell on me, like a wizard or something.
they're very, very good at giving incentives on one hand and then upselling you on something on the back end. So you're really not getting what it seems like is a great, great deal when it comes to the incentives. Now, what really is available when it comes to new construction in South Florida, and what are these incentives that they're offering right now to buyers that are looking for homes? All right, so here on the computer you can see this article from Realtor Magazine, and this is beginning of this month, October. It says, housing starts rebound, builders aim to win buyers back. So despite an unexpected jump in new construction in September, demand for new homes is falling due to high prices and mortgage rates. Builders are lowering their asks to boost buyer traffic. Now, as we move down in the article a bit, you can see right here, it says, still, builder sentiment fell in September to its lowest level since 2014, according to data from the National Association of Home Builders. Rising mortgage rates, which topped 6% last week, and construction delays due to supply chain disruptions are among builders' top concerns. More than half the builders surveyed say they are using incentives to bolster sales, including offering mortgage rate buydowns, free amenities, and price reductions, according to Wells Fargo Housing Market Index. Now, if we check out here, this is G&L Homes, which is one of our builders here in South Florida. So we look at the communities that we have here. So Arden is in Wellington, Lotus Palm is in Boca, Lotus is in Boca, and then we get much more further north, starting with Valencia Grande, Valencia Cay, and Valencia Walk up in Port St. Lucie. So what sort of incentives are they offering? So if we go back to Lotus Palm, which is their newest community in Boca Raton, where they're still having a lottery and one coming up for some new lots. You can see right here, save up to $15,000 on your new G&L home, and it basically tells you down here, save up to $15,000 in closing costs when you use G&L Financial and Nova Title Services, and these are basically their in-house title company and lender. But again, you need to be careful. You need to get with someone that understands the ins and outs of new construction, because they can offer you these incentives, but on the back end, upsell you on something else. So sometimes it might not even be what they're saying it is. Check with your lender, get a few different people to look over the details to make sure you're still getting what they tell you that you're getting. Just be very careful and have someone look over this with you. Now, what are some of the problems that you might run into when looking for new construction here in South Florida? Now, one thing is the location, and also the location within the location. Now, most of the new construction you're going to find, unless it's a one-off neighborhood with or development where there's just like 8 homes, or if it's a new build on one lot on East Fort Lauderdale, something like that, it's going to be on the western side of South Florida, mostly north, Palm Beach, and even further north. Now, there's not really much land at all available for new construction, so it's going to be on some sort of an area that was a golf course at one point, or an agricultural piece of land that's being bought up by a developer. But not only is that location, it's the location within the development. What lots are going to be available? They're going awfully quick still, but there are some that are still available. So they do go through some sort of a lottery process, and figuring out which lot is available in the development is critical, because sometimes, or at least you haven't had much of a choice in the last couple of years because of the competition. But that is easing up a bit, but still critical, because you need to know where it's going to sit and exactly where it is. Another issue you're going to still have to deal with is supply chain issues. So these are easing up a bit, but it's still definitely an issue. And this is going to affect a lot of stuff. It's going to affect timing, deadlines, also finishes, in just a lot of different ways. So obviously timing and deadlines, when is it going to be done? If they give you a timeline and a deadline, they might have to wait for certain materials to build a home. It's going to affect those deadlines. Also, the finishes in the home, window coverings, appliances, colors of windows and sidings, and all different types of things are being affected throughout the construction industry. So it's definitely going to affect you when you're dealing with a structure that is being built from scratch. So really, this is just something you're going to have to deal with if doing new construction. You might have to wait a little longer for something. You might have to make a decision on the color of your windows, or different appliances or flooring or something of that nature, or run into some sort of a delay with completion. It is just something that is happening, but again, it is easing up. A lot different than it was back when we first started having the supply chain crisis, but it is changing and getting better. So we're going to do another video more specific on a few different neighborhoods up in Palm Beach County, specifically Boca, when it comes to new construction, because there are some really, really nice new developments going on. So I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully you got something from it. So if you have any questions or planning a move here to South Florida, again, I would love to be your real estate resource. All you got to do is reach out, and I'd be happy to make your transition here to South Florida a very, very smooth one, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.